Hi, my name's Patrick, and I'll be your travel consultant today. Yes. So, before we get started, I'd just like to ask a few questions. Okay? Alright, let me get my notebook. Okay, so I'm just going to ask a few questions regarding where you would prefer to travel. Okay? Okay. Could I get your name? Alright. And how do you spell that? Thank you. Okay. Alright, and do you have any preferences for where you would like to travel? Okay, so you'd like to remain somewhere tropical? Yeah. Yeah, it is still quite cold here. Okay, and then what's your price range? It doesn't matter. Okay, so with that does leave quite a few options. Would you prefer to remain in the Americas, or would you prefer the Pacific, or Asia? Okay, so island, okay, and then Pacific, or Caribbean? Okay, well, I can tell you right now that the Caribbean, because for the most part it's more accessible than places in the Pacific, I can tell you that that will be a little more economical. Yeah, because the flights aren't as long, and there are more flights from here to the Caribbean, that it's going to be a little bit cheaper. But as you said, if money's not an option, I think we should explore all of our options. Okay? Okay, so let's actually... I know of quite a few vacation destinations within the Caribbean and the Pacific. So before we get to those, do you have any sort of preference for family resorts, or would you like to keep this adults only, or do you not really care? You don't really care, but you'd like to have it be a little more serene? Okay. Alright, so then we have two options. We have the adults only. Okay. And then we also have the family. But if you wanted it more quiet, I'd suggest a villa-style resort where you would have your own private villa, and they are more separated. So you won't hear kids screaming playing or whatever. Okay? Alright, so in the Pacific, let's start with that. Do you have a preference of island? So, no, none of the big islands on Hawaii. So, you'd like to stay out of like Oahu and the Big Island. Okay. Well, there are still quite a few beautiful Hawaiian islands that we can certainly look at. So there's Kauai. Now Kauai has an interesting phenomenon on it of black sand beaches. And those are formed by volcanic ash, but they're safe. Okay, so you're interested? Good, okay. And then moving on into the Pacific. Let's see. Let me just check my notes on that particular region for you. So with the Pacific, we also have available, we have Marshall Islands, we also have Tahiti and Fiji, Tonga and Samoa. So Tahiti or Fiji would also interest you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Tahiti and Fiji would be a little bit more pricey because they are farther out in the Pacific. And, you know, that basically would make the flight a little more expensive. Okay. Okay, so is still interested in no. Good. Okay. Now let's move to the Caribbean. Do you have any preference for the Caribbean? Okay, so let's see here. So you want to kind of venture outside of the US territories? Okay, so no US Virgin Islands or Puerto Rico? Okay. Obviously, those islands would be a bit easier to access if you are a US citizen, because US citizens do not require a passport to travel to them. You don't care. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? Well, the Caribbean is quite expansive. There are several islands. Have you visited any of them? So you've been to Jamaica and Grand Cayman? So we're going to kind of go away from those because you've been there before. So just so you can get a more cultured perspective on the region. Okay. So the three islands, or rather island chains, that I will recommend to you are Aruba, okay, Turks and Caicos, and then Saint Martin. And now Saint Martin is interesting because one side of the island is controlled by the Netherlands, and the other side is controlled by France. Do you have a preference, or would you just like me to look into whichever side I think would be better? You don't care? Okay. So then on Saint Martin, on one side of the island, they have an airport. Now this airport, its runway is very close to the beach, and it's kind of a local as well as a tourist attraction to go to that beach as the big planes are taking off, like KLM and Air France flights, and attach yourself to the chain link fence. Now I'm not supposed to be recommending this because it is dangerous, but since you don't look like the person that would go and tell on me, I'll fill you in on this. So, you grab onto the chain link fence, and you hold on as tight as you can as the planes take off, and the force from them taking off pushes people into the water or onto the sand. It's kind of fun if you're into that sort of thing. But also on Saint Martin, there are several quiet and beautiful spots, and all throughout islands, there are the famous Caribbean waters, coral reefs, clear turquoise, and they're very, very beautiful. I would highly recommend that if you do visit a Caribbean island, to go snorkeling or scuba diving, because the fish there are absolutely beautiful. So yeah, Saint Martin is a little bit crowded compared to kind of what you're looking for, but there are some very quiet spots on the island. And Turks and Caicos does have some big chain resorts on it. Okay. Let me look that up for you. Okay, yeah. So we do have several of our resort options available. Let me put this down. Now, our resorts are quiet, they're peaceful, and most of them are in that villa style that you were looking for. Okay? Yeah, so now I suppose it's just up to whichever island you would prefer. And once I get that information from you, we can start our booking process, talking about add-ons, dining options, and of course local tourist excursions. Okay? Alright, excellent choice. So, I'll get my computer and we can start the booking process for you. Okay? Great. So because you booked in person with us, and because you are staying at an affiliated resort, actually, this resort is directly owned by the travel agency. So since you are doing that, you will also receive a 20% discount on air travel, add-ons, your room, and any excursions you might be interested in. Okay? Let me just sign into our system. Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, we have several room options available within our villa-style resorts. And I can, of course, look at all of those options. Yes, we do work with all of the major airlines, so finding you a seat won't be a problem. And as a first-time customer, I'm going to throw in a first-class seat for you. Does that sound good? Okay. Okay, so flight. Now we have direct and layover options available. The layover options will of course be cheaper. You would like to fly direct? Okay. Okay. And then the direct flights also have a fairly wide range of departure times. Okay. And of course, some departure times will be cheaper than others because of peak travel hour. But depending on your airport, those prices will change. So are you planning on departing from this city? Yeah? Great. Okay, it's just pulling up the flights. Okay. I have one here, departing at noon and arriving, let's see. So it is a 5-hour flight. Okay. But with first class, that should be relatively comfortable. So it does depart at noon. It's 5 hours. Local time. Let's see, local time. It will arrive at 3 o'clock p.m. Okay. And of course you will have plenty of time to check in and everything, alright? So, would you like me to book you on that flight? Okay. Are you security pre-checked? No. Would you like us to add that? So, the security pre-check will require you to undergo a brief background check from our friendly TSA representatives here at the travel agency. What you will do is you will go to the receptionist after we're done booking everything. You will submit your identification and agree to a criminal background check. And if everything checks out, you will be given pre-check status. So you can breeze through the security line. All you will be subjected to is the metal detectors, and of course your carry-on items will be x-rayed. But it does kind of expedite that process so we can get you on the plane sooner. Okay. Okay, great. Yeah. Because we work closely with all of the airports that we book flights out of, the process in which you will receive your background check today will take about 15 or 20 minutes to get the results back and give you your pre-check clearance. Okay, yeah, not bad at all compared to the long waiting periods if you were to do it yourself. Okay, so I have that added on there, and then I have heard back from the airline. You have been confirmed for a first class seat on the flight leaving at noon and arriving at 3 p.m. Yeah, the time zone is 2 hours behind. Okay, so just be aware of that, and be sure if your watch does not automatically update to change the time either when you get on the plane or when you land, so you don't miss any excursion plans or dinner plans that you make while on the island. Okay? Okay, now let's look at the resort. Yeah, so we always offer extras, but the food and drink is all included at the in the price, rather. Yeah. Now alcoholic beverages, unfortunately, are not included, but we can add a cocktail package to your booking. You'd like to do that? Excellent. Okay. Now, because you are also a first-time customer, you will have a choice of any of our room types in our villa-style resort. So we have the normal, we have the garden villas. The garden villas are located in the forested area away from the beach. They are about a 1 to 2 minute walk, but those are our base models. Okay, and then we have the beach villas. The beach villas are, of course, located directly on the beach, and you can just walk right out. You will have a balcony and everything, and it does provide some beautiful views of the tropical sunsets. Okay, let me look. And then our third and final option is our overwater villas. So they are on platforms above the water itself, and they do have glass bottoms in some rooms, so you can clearly see the coral and the fish. They also come with a private balcony and, of course, a spa tub. You'd like to go with that one? Okay. Okay. Yes, room service is 24 hours, 7 days a week. Okay. And then your package also includes dining at all of our restaurants. We have a wide selection of different restaurants, different types of cuisine. It ranges from the local cuisine to Americana, Mexican, Italian, French. We have an English style pub on the grounds. So really, whatever you're looking for, we have. But I would suggest to try the local cuisine. It is quite flavorful and quite delicious. Okay. And of course, we have a buffet that's also open 24/7. so you can access that at any time. And then the room service comes from the kitchens of all of our restaurants, and that is also available to you whenever you'd like. Okay, so we have that sorted out. Let me just enter that. Okay. Okay, yeah. I'm just waiting back to hear from the resort itself to confirm. Alright, we have that booked for you. Would you like to book any excursions? Mm-hmm. So, snorkeling. Okay. Parasailing. Quite adventurous. Okay. And you will receive passes for those activities. You can start using them on the first day you get there. They do not expire until you check out, so you can go snorkeling or parasailing on whichever day you choose for as many times as you want, as long as you're there. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I'd be quite excited too. Mm-hmm. Okay. You would also like a tour of the island? Okay, we can certainly arrange that. Okay. Alright, so everything's been confirmed and booked. Yes. Yeah, definitely. You will receive the confirmation by email. Yeah. Okay, so when you get on your flight, after you've settled in, put your luggage away, you can present a voucher from our travel agency to the stewardess, and that is good for a free premium meal and a free beverage of your choosing. And the first class seats on this flight also convert into full beds. So, if you get tired, you want to take a nap or fall asleep on the plane, you are more than welcome to do so. You'll just press a button on the side of your chair and it'll fold down for you. Once you arrive at the resort, just present the booking number to our friendly concierge. They will escort you personally to your villa. Okay, and you do not need to make reservations. Everything has been arranged for you, and you can choose to eat at any of our restaurants during their hours of operation, or you can choose to eat at our 24/7 buffet or room service. Okay, and then excursions have all been taken care of. The tour of the island will be on your third day there, so you have the first two to rest and get accustomed to everything in the resort. Okay, and then those tours do leave the resort every 30 minutes, so you will have the option to go between the hours of noon and 5 p.m. on any of the tour buses leaving from the resort. And I will apply that 20% off right now. Okay. Alright. Well, we're all done here. I'm glad that you chose our travel agency to work with today. You will present all the required travel documents to our receptionist, and they will process your pre-check clearance request. Okay. Alright, well, I want to thank you for coming in, and I hope you have an awesome vacation. Alright, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.